to search. Oh.
Okay, welcome, everyone.
Welcome to another episode of the Veterinary Roundtable, the podcast where we answer your veterinary-related questions while having some fun along the way.
If you enjoyed today's video,
Today is a very special episode. We had a little fluke, so we don't have an itinerary, and we're free falling. Free falling.
It's Harrison's fault.
We have 100%, the reins.
100% Harrison's fault.
He controls the internet. He controls everything. It's his fault.
So this is completely
We had two special guests we were going to have on.
I know.
Yeah.
And then we could not connect with them because our connection was unstable. So we have to apologize profusely to them and then be like, we have to reschedule.
Yes.
So that's where we're at. So we are here to do the podcast with no itinerary.
Yep.
So guess what,
no
everybody?
game plan.
Buckle
up. That's right, because this is going to be one fun episode. All right. So, okay, to start with while we were sitting here contemplating what we were going to do.
Yep.
Duckwall brought up the
I didn't hear it.
Okay, well that's why we're going to talk about it. She brought up the phrase
I have something I want to tell you, but I can't.
Right.
That is so annoying. And then we got on the topic of maybe we just talk about pet peeves. But anyway, let's talk about this phrase real quick.
Yes, let's talk about this phrase. Why would anyone ever say, I want to tell you something, but I can't tell you right now?
No, not even right now. Just I can't tell you.
I think everyone has said that once in their life.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously a thing if everyone knows it.
Like, if I said that to you, I want to tell you something, but I can't tell you right now, or I want to tell you something, but I can't, you would have been like, no, tell me. And then I would have probably told you.
That's how it goes.
So then why say it to begin with?
Yeah.
Build the suspense.
Oh, it just builds agitation, if you ask me. Makes my blood boil.
The
what's disappointing is when you do that and then you finally find out and it's not worth it at all.
Well, that's
not
true.
worth the wait.
Yeah.
The other one that I don't like
point.
is I need to talk to you about something if you can remind me later.
Oh.
I've never said
do that a lot.
I've actually never said that.
You do that one a lot, King.
That's so funny. Do I do that a lot?
Yeah.
Probably with veterinary medicine.
Share.
I'm like, hey, remind me, I got to tell you something later.
Literally, I've said that. Just that phrase, that tone, the finger,
everything. Yep, that is probably true. I probably do that.
I don't know. I always think as they happen, I think about my biggest pet peeves. Like something will happen. I'm like, oh, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. And then I can never think of them when someone asks me.
At the clinic, one of my biggest pet peeves is having things on the outside of the counters, like stickers, things hanging on them. Like, I hate somebody went around the clinic and labeled every goddamn drawer with the sticker label writer.
Oh, I thought you were talking about when someone labeled everything on your desk. And I was like, that was me.
You.
Literally labeled like computer,
I'm talking about
mouse,
in the hallways,
chair.
all the drawers are labeled batteries, whatever. It looks, because one, they start to peel off and then it doesn't look good and then it looks dirty and then
fascinating.
I didn't like, we used to have like all those random sticky notes all over the walls.
Yeah.
So then like we ended up typing it up, laminating it, sticking up there because it was like different colors,
like
different
shapes. Like the
different handwritings.
Faust Island gives me like
anxiety.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about like just the simple stains out for the microscope? And
okay,
so you want a clean counter. So your house, the kitchen counter where things accumulate, because I hate it. That's where your house is all clean. Nothing.
Well, I mean, I have like a thing, like a toaster on there.
Okay, so that doesn't bother you.
No, it's like the random stuff.
Like mail. Oh, we have a mail pile that just never goes away.
Yes.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It drives me bonkers.
Yep. I get that. I feel your pain there. Do you have an entire mail counter? Is that why you're...
No.
Okay.
Do you have a junk section of your counter?
Speaking of junk, what's the junk drawer for?
Oh, I don't
Honestly,
know, but
it's a secondary trash can.
But to be honest with you, it makes me feel better
drawer.
when I can literally be like, that just goes in that drawer. And I just put it away. Because then I don't have to meticulously fold something or put something where...
Yes.
Just put it in the drawer.
I don't have a junk drawer.
You don't have a junk drawer?
And with our mail, we set it on the kitchen table and then we sort through, we throw away unimportant stuff and then we divvy out everyone's mail.
Where it goes.
Okay. What's other pet peeves in vet med?
In vet med.
I was trying to think of things that like get me worked up or agitated at work, like your label thing. I don't like running late because I'm waiting on someone else.
She's clenching her jaw.
I don't like that.
I don't
Stresses
like
me out.
when I go in a room and someone's like, I'm just the taxi driver.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good one. Or like you explain your heart out, everything, and then you're like, can you just repeat that and call my
Husband.
my wife?
Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna put them on speaker 1 second
Can you
after you're
repeat off
done.
that? Yeah.
Don't like
Yeah.
that either.
Don't like that.
I'm like brain farting right now. I always
can't
have
think
so
of
many
anything?
opinions, and now I don't.
You
have
don't like
any.
when people run late either.
Yeah,
I like when you were my room person.
yeah.
That was always that would get you going.
Am.
Yeah. Or you know what the best one is?
Are you talking about me?
No.
Okay.
In treatment, there's the eye wash has a spot. The eye wash should always be in the same cabinet where all the other eye tests are.
Not even just the eye wash.
It never is.
Ends up there.
I kid you not, for the last whatever X amount of years I've worked there, it never is there when I need it. And
Yes.
it drives me bonkers.
Yeah, it's the same thing with everything. Nail trimmers, lube,
That's true.
Chlorohex.
I was going to
ear
say,
cleaner.
usually it's like you're doing a anal gland expression. You need to infuse the anal glands and you go to get the bottle of Animax or whatever it is and there's nothing in it. And you're like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
I do that at home. I put boxes back when they're empty. Charles is like, why?
I don't get
Because
it.
I'm too lazy to throw it out.
Oh my God.
It's the same amount of effort.
You know what we need?
What?
Labels on drawers.
No, we do not need any more labels on cabinets. Now you're going to go back tomorrow
No,
or whatever day and you're going to see them and you're going to look at it and you're going to be like, I see what she's talking
I know
about.
what you're talking about already.
Mm.
I made them take them all down in the cat room
Yeah.
because I was like, this is obnoxious.
The room that people can't see. Like the owners don't even see the cat room.
I will say it is a pet peeve, like talking about never being able to find the eye wash. Because yesterday we have 3 tables in treatment. Yes, there's supposed to be one of each in each table, and there was not a Chlorohex container in any of them. And I went to surgery, no hate, but I found all 3 of them, and all of them were empty. So I filled them all up and I put them back where they belong, and they're probably already gone again. But then, like, we can never find the tris. I don't get it. But we can't find the tris, so someone opens a brand new bottle, and they're massive. They should last, like, a month. And then, like, the next week, it's gone again.
It's gone again. Shrinkage.
There's a lot of years right now. It's allergy season. It's a
Yeah.
lot of years. Uh-oh.
Okay, we got interrupted from our
Rude.
pet
Rude.
peeve session.
Okay, what things do we love about men? We probably say that
gosh.
every time. I love puppies and kittens because that's all I do all day long.
What is this? Oh, okay, wait. Harrison says the one about repeating.
Breaking news. Wow, I feel much more silly today because we have no agenda.
We have no.
Does
agenda.
anyone else feel that way?
Yes.
What is repeating
I'm
over the
bothered that I
phone?
can't
I
think of
don't.
my pet
Harrison Branch,
peeves.
you got to be more specific.
Yeah.
What's the question? Let's see. This is where people just fast forward and get to the good
No
stuff.
comprende.
Okay.
I don't know if I said that right. No comprende.
Anyway,
Yes.
No comprende.
we got some cool cases. People love the
okay.
cases.
Okay, but wait, hold on. Did we even mention the reviews?
No,
Because
that's right.
we are so close.
Yeah.
So close to Devin's new adventure.
New adventure. That's what we're calling it.
Yes.
Devin's Day.
Devin's
An
Day.
awakening.
So we are at 84,
5.
Ooh.
85.
Or
On
maybe 85
Apple.
because somebody said 15.
That's right.
So we're short 15 on Apple.
Yep. That one needs a hundo. So
And then we are there.
bring them out. Bring them out.
I thought of 2 pet peeves.
Oh, okay.
okay,
We're still
hit
on.
us.
They are veterinary related, kind of, but phones when you're in a room and they're on a
Oh.
phone call,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then it kind of feeds into the slow thing.
Yes.
You have to you keep checking to see if they're off the phone, if you can go in.
Yeah.
And no, longest phone call ever. Life.
Oh, yes.
And then lately with the weather, well, tech appointments, I'm outside a lot, and I'm having owners talk to me about irrelevant stuff a lot more lately, and it requires me to stand out in the heat, and it's always the white cars, and the sun is reflecting
yeah.
right
It's
off on my
yeah.
face, and I'm like beads of sweat, and I'm just like,
You need an all-star hat
It's
or
been really-
some
it's been
sunglasses.
We need a
hard.
visor. Yeah. We
A
need to get you a
visor.
visor.
like I
forgot.
walk outside, and
That's so
30
cool.
seconds later, I'm miserable.
Oh, gosh.
I feel like we
you
would
know
be
I don't
like
do well in the heat.
Chick-fil-A if they were going out there with visors.
That we would be. Yeah.
Or like one of those little things, with the
Or a backpack
I have
that
no
has
idea what those
something-
are called.
You know what I'm talking about? You can get something that straps on your shoulder.
And it's like a
yeah. It's like a little tent.
canopy, a canopy for a
Yes.
personal canopy.
Yeah.
Add that to the want list.
Okay,
There you go.
those are good pet peeves. I get those. Yep.
I'll circle back with the other pet peeves some other episode.
Pete's and picks. Pits and peaks.
Pits and peaks.
Okay, the pit is that we had the two
I know.
awesome guests and we couldn't interview them. So
Hopefully they don't hate us and they'll come back next
that's
time.
the pit. They already
Yeah.
emailed me and said, no problem.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay.
Okay.
My pit is I came in. I brought my cat into work on my day off on Tuesday, and whatever. I ended up staying a lot longer than I anticipated because I
Yeah.
started doing school, and
It was
I
kind of
was
my fault too.
no,
I'm
I was
sorry.
being really productive, but I ended up staying there for like 5 hours. I
Yeah.
realized, and then I got home and I felt like I didn't have a day off, which is
I
my
went
my
in
fault.
she was in Cat Mountain and I went in there and she's like, I'm not working, right? And I was like, I know, I'm just here to ask you a question.
well, because I was on my phone and I didn't want people to think that I was just on my phone and on the clock, but I wasn't clocked
that's
in.
why I thought you wanted me to
Yes.
not talk
no,
to you.
No,
Don't talk to
I
me.
was
No,
like, I
I'm
promised I
out.
wouldn't be on my phone on the clock ever.
You know I'm not working, right? I was like, I'm sorry, I just want to talk to you.
No, so
Well,
this,
to be honest, I
this
thought
week
you
has-
left. So I called
know.
Michaela and then she's like, oh, Devin's just in the cat room. I'm like, oh my God.
No, I was doing school. I was being productive, but it just feels like I haven't
Yeah.
had a day off this week. Which
Yeah, that's a bummer. I feel that
it's
as well.
felt very long and slow. My peak. Well, 2 peaks. I'm going to Kenny Chesney and Zach Brown Band tonight. That's gonna be fun.
Be good. It'll be hot. Bring a little sprays.
I know it's gonna be hot.
Spritzer.
And there's gonna be so
Put
many
your hair up.
people.
I know. I've already gotten alerts like sold out. Get there at 5:30.
Yeah.
Like there's no way I'm getting there at 5:30. It starts at 7:30.
You know how hot
Why
it's
would
gonna
I
be at
sit
5:30?
in
It's
the
like
heat?
90 right now.
Yeah.
Why would I sit in the heat for 2 extra
No,
hours?
I agree.
Yeah.
Although I do want to go see Kenny Chesney at some point, but not
Come.
tonight.
I have an extra ticket.
Oh, you do really?
Mhm.
Oh, that's so fun.
There is a third person that was supposed to come and they can't anymore.
There you go. Go hang out in the heat with
the
your
heat.
son and Devin.
Yeah. 2 favorite people. I'm kidding.
What's your
Um,
other one?
I did an orogastric tube yesterday for school, and it was really cool.
That's
went really
awesome.
well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I heard.
I literally
And-
have never had to do one.
I
Well,
And
heard
do you want to tell everybody what you learned
yeah.
about what side?
The
of
placement.
Yeah, that neither of you knew. I will put that out there very clear. The trachea is on the patient. Okay, well, it's right here, like up here.
Yes.
Trachea is on their right, esophagus is on the left, and then they do a little X and they switch. So technically, they're on both sides.
Yeah. So we were both
we were
right.
both right.
I honestly
But
can remember.
Yeah, it's hard to remember, I guess.
So she drew me a picture and now I have it on my desk.
Yes, it's really
so
cute.
I never forget.
But I got to hear the gurgling in the stomach, and it was really cool.
Did
like-
stomach acid come back up in your face?
No, because like I listened to the stomach, and someone blew in the tube, and it was like.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. That's very cool.
It was
Yeah.
cool.
Well done.
Thanks.
Well
Well
done.
done.
Okay, what you got?
Yeah, my pit, I guess I would agree. Kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
With the guests and stuff, but they'll be back.
They'll
They
be
will
back.
be.
Peak, my best friends are coming into
Oh,
town.
that's right.
tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
That's
Okay.
exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Oh.
I pick one up at the airport from Florida, and then Tony from Canada is coming.
Ooh.
Driving down. So
That's very
Fun.
cool.
I'm
What are
very
you guys
excited.
doing this weekend?
Just chilling with Helen. That's about
gonna be
it.
So much fun.
Probably fill up the kiddie pool with water. And just
Chill outside.
yeah.
I get you.
Yep.
That sounds good.
Cool.
What was your peak?
Oh, my peak. A peak. I don't know a peak. I'm trying to think of a peak.
Really?
Oh, come on.
What? Nobody called off
Nuh-uh.
today.
We
That's
had
right.
we had a come to
Jesus meeting.
yes. Thank
Get on
you.
the bus or get off
come
the
to
bus.
Jesus
Yep.
meeting last night after work.
Yep.
And now no one called off
Okay. I'm going to say something really controversial.
because
Do it.
Dr. King was super mean.
It doesn't matter.
And
Then all I did was hear how mean I wasn't.
I'm kidding.
So,
she was perfect.
I said last night that, and I will still agree with this, that it doesn't matter. There is no quality to the excuse, that the end result is the same.
Yeah. Because the client doesn't care why you called off.
Right. And because now we have no one to deliver patient care.
Yeah. She made us take an oath.
Of what?
No, she didn't.
About the invoicing thing.
About the invoicing, I did, yes.
That we will invoice
Um,
correctly.
Yes, I did.
I do think there are some clients that care if our
Yeah. But
whatever
they don't.
is.
They don't really.
I've never been.
I'm sorry, they don't.
I saw clients today at Meyer. They actually cared about
Okay,
what I
Well,
was
that's
doing.
outside of work. It's not like when they're sitting there waiting on you and
Yeah.
you are not there.
Yeah. I've never had
Or
a
you got to
client.
call them and say, no, we can't perform your surgery today because
Mm.
we don't have enough staff. They don't. It's not their problem.
Yeah, I've never had a client ask why someone called off.
No.
Oh, well, they technically shouldn't know, right? Unless
Right,
it's
yeah, I mean-
obviously
Well,
like,
like
a
if there are
doctor.
people that have regulars and like someone else fills in,
Yeah.
they're like, "Where's so and so?" And we're like, "Oh, she's not here." And they're like,
yeah.
"They're never what? Like why?"
No, I've never had
true.
really anybody ask why. But the argument against that is that people will say, well, it does matter. The quality of the excuse does matter. So, like, this is more important than this, or this is for this person is more important than this.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't
Yeah.
know. Everybody's
Yeah.
things are important. What's
Yeah.
important is be at work
Yeah.
because
Yep. Because I think that wasn't the point of what was happening or been happening anyway. It wasn't those extreme, like consistently. It
Mhm.
wasn't those
It's
extreme.
like people are getting a little
severe
carried
things.
away.
Yes. Yes. People were getting carried away and had to
just
be
call
stopped.
a spade a spade.
yeah. There are the
And-
excuses that we've talked about and I've heard are all not those serious ones.
Right.
So that's
Right.
where
It's like
that was the problem.
Yeah,
That was the point.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Period.
So yeah, even All Star, we have to rein it in sometimes.
Yeah.
Got to, but you got to if you want to keep going in the right
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah,
You
it's
got
still
to.
business. You still
know
have
our
to
core
show up.
And we're not immune to all of that stuff. You got to just
Mhm.
keep managing and
along.
leading.
Mm-hmm. Take responsibility.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, who knows what direction it goes?
Can't let it get off the tracks.
Can't let it get off the tracks.
fall off the rocker.
Smack.
You sounded so old there.
Get back on there.
It's like
gosh.
pigs when they in 4-H when they try to get pigs to walk straight and they got those sticks on
Little
the other
whips.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not whips, but
Little stick things.
yeah.
That's what I envision you do.
Stick
Get
things.
back in that.
Get back on that.
You want to get on the bus, then you better get off it if you're not staying on it.
No, you did say if you're a part of the problem, be a part of the solution.
Yes. That was one of the motivating quotes last night.
Okay, good.
Put that on the wall.
Put
Yeah.
that on the wall.
We write,
I
or
stole
King
that
writes
from
sayings
McDivitt.
on the wall.
Really?
Yeah, McDivitt and I were talking about it. And she's
Yeah.
like, really, all you're asking is for the people that are part of the problem to be part of the solution. And I was like, I'm going to say that.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's that. Okay. What else
What
you guys
should we
got?
talk about next?
I think we should throw out some cases.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Go for it. Okay.
What you got?
We got a couple, but I'll just try to save some for later episodes too.
Okay.
I'll go with the one. It was a new patient, new client. That it was just this last week. She had brought in a couple other dogs of hers, so getting established essentially. But unfortunately, one of her dogs had attacked her other dog in the house. So we didn't do all this care when this happened, but I had to read through all these extensive records and it was still a very fascinating case. So you have two non-spayed females, young, I think they're 1 and 2 or something like that. But one that was the aggressor has some deficiencies. So it's a big, like all white Great Dane. So she can't hear, she's
Oh.
deaf. And then she has, issues with eyes. I don't know the details of that one. I hadn't met her. Anyway, so I think it was she went after this golden doodle who is smaller than her and unfortunately got her at the chest area. So the owner had to go to several different ERs and long story short, what ended up happening is this dog got pleural effusion in her chest. And so they ended up testing it and it was infection. So
Oh, wow.
it was pus, basically.
Oh, wow.
Pus fluid in her chest.
Wow.
Not great. Don't really see that often.
No.
And it was after the initial attack, right? So that makes sense. The infection starts brewing and doesn't have a way to release and whatever. So she ended up having to go to one of the specialty facilities, and get a thoracotomy.
Oh, wow.
So she got her chest opened and flushed the bejesus out of it.
Ugh.
They cultured it, obviously. She had a chest tube in and during her stay. She ended up getting through it and survived it, thankfully. At the original attack, she had a pneumothorax, but it wasn't terrible. And then anyway, it turned into this.
Got it.
So I saw her this week because she was ADR. She had been doing great for 2 weeks. She was off her antibiotics. Really no concerns. Then all of a sudden she just was really punky. So on exam, she's a 2-year-old golden doodle. She really was pretty ADR, like very quiet, very meh. And her temperature is 103.4, so very mild fever. But for her personality, she shouldn't have a fever. Essentially,
Right.
She had a limp, which was new within the last 24 hours, and she wasn't breathing heavy. I could hear all lung sounds. I was really intentional to make sure I could hear it in all quadrants, and I could hear lung sounds. They sounded fine. No coughing history, no abdominal breathing. So we did blood work, and she had a pretty significant elevation in neutrophils. I think it was like 18,000. And then her white blood count was like 34,000 or something. Wow. Yeah. So obviously inflammatory infectious process. Given her history, is there something that walled off in the chest, or was there like microscopic bacteria left and, we just had to continue antibiotics.
Right.
We did not pursue x-rays at the time because all the reasons I said on her exam, and financially we're trying to be smart. So I ended up doing Rimadyl and then restarting the antibiotic that the pus was susceptible to, the original infection. The next day she was kind of the same, but mom was continuing to keep an eye on her, and that was yesterday. So I don't know. We still offered having her come in for images and check that out. If she's going to come in, I'm not in the clinic today or tomorrow, so I'm not quite sure what will happen, but hopefully it's, something else. She's fighting something else. Is it coincidence? I said immune mediated disease was on my list because she was limping and all of this happened at the same time, but she didn't have any joint effusion. So I'm not sure.
Right. Interesting.
I know. It's pretty intense.
Yeah, that's very intense.
I don't know. I'll be interested to see how she does.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really cool case.
Thanks. Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, very interesting.
It'll be interesting to see how she does.
Yeah. You guys got one?
I do not.
You don't have a case for today?
No. Because this is very...
Oh, yeah. This was very last minute.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
There's
we could talk...
there's a dog that is coming in today, the possible MRSA, but...
Oh, yeah. That's when I was texting you guys about.
But we might want to wait until that...
Say what?
I said, do we want to wait until that actually happens? And
well, we contacted them because I'm like, something's not right. Something's weird about this case. Just because it's the location of the wound and then the lack of response to the... So we got a text from another clinician about helping with some drug protocol, and the dog had gone to the surgery center to have a wound removed, right? Debrided and removed, right?
Explored. The wound was explored for form.
And at the time of surgery,
it was in between the toes.
Yeah, between the toes. I think we don't know whether it was this side or this side.
Gotcha.
I was told today that it was on the back part of the paw.
This part
is the draining tract.
Is on this part.
I think so.
The palmar surface of the foot.
Yeah, I don't.
So we didn't have all the information. There was some just weird pieces of information that just made me question what exactly is going on. Just because they debrided the wound with surgery. Apparently they cultured it. And if you're out there, if you do surgery, if you culture a wound, clean the wound, debride it surgically, clean it, and then culture it. And we don't know if that's in fact what happened or not, because then it grew MRSA or whatever, and then they treated it, and then it dehisced, right? And then so they've been having it on some bigwig antibiotics like chloramphenicol and some other things, and the dog isn't removed. Oh my God, can't talk. Isn't improving. So there's too many a wound, once you've surgically debrided it, and if you've gotten to the base of the wound and then you're topically treating it, it's so with hydrotherapy along with, I think they're using upiricin.
They weren't doing hydrotherapy, I don't think.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So that's what, there's just too many, I don't know, something's not right. Either it's a different process that's going on,
Mm-hmm.
or meaning we think it's an infectious wound, and really it maybe is something else, like, an immune mediated disease or something else that's non-responsive to antibiotics, or it's not being managed. Anyway, they wanted to pull out the bigwig, which was amikacin. And when you do that, there's risk to cause kidney failure, acute kidney failure.
Yep.
And so, like, we're the secondary partner on that case. So they wanted to send the dog over and just have us hospitalize it on fluids and give it amikacin. And I was like, no, I'm not very comfortable with that, because I'm not convinced that that's what that dog needs.
Yeah.
Like,
So you're saying that the culture grew MRSA?
yes.
Yeah, but I think the
But that's
culture was
very
collected
common.
the second time. That, like, when it was non-healing and they had to go back in, it was collected the second
Right.
time.
And I, we see that in skin.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just like,
Yeah,
so
I think
some
we're
stuff
a
that's
second
like,
opinion, essentially.
Yeah.
And
So then I was like, we'll see it as a second opinion. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
we'll see it, look at it. Are we?
Yeah.
yeah,
It was on the
that
schedule.
was. I
I
think
didn't know if
that
they
was
would come
the
in.
intention. That was.
I saw it on the schedule
Brought to
for
me.
today, this afternoon. At
It
like
was on the
2
schedule.
or
Okay, because
3
we
or-
told them, like, hey, we'd be happy to see it
Yeah.
but we're not just going to start amikacin.
Yeah.
It's with KP.
Okay, so
Yeah.
she said,
Okay,
she would
that
see
was
it.
what I thought was going to happen too. So
Yeah. Well,
okay.
we got the impression they just wanted to send the dog over, hook it up to fluids, give it amikacin, and I'm like, whoa, pump the brakes.
Mhm.
Like,
Me
this is
too.
like the
Yeah, it's serious.
Yeah, and then the owner's like, well, why did you guys give it amikacin? You saw it. Didn't you think it was something different? Like,
I see. Yeah.
I was like, no, we're not doing that. Like, we're going to, whatever our impression is. And then we're happy to take the case over, because she's just doing surgery.
Yeah.
And she's trying to manage this.
Yeah.
And so we were like, yeah,
My question is, why couldn't they hospitalize and give amikacin?
it's just her. She
It's
doesn't
just
have
a
the
surgery
ability to
center.
do it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
and I think they're only open like
Weird hours.
Yeah, like 8 to 5 or
Yeah.
something, or
Yeah.
something like
Okay.
that. And I don't, yeah. So anyway,
Yeah, because one of our nurses knows the people and said they wanted a second opinion, but then I got information from the doctor who
'Cause
was
you
like,
know the doctor.
I know both. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know the owners. I just know, obviously, one of our nurses and then the doctor.
You know
So
the doctor.
Gotcha.
So yeah, well, that'll be interesting. That'll be a case we
Mhm.
need to follow
We'll
up
follow
with.
up.
I know. I
Next week, maybe.
hope it's straightforward once you look
Yeah,
at
just,
it.
like, and then we were talking, we were like, okay, what breed is it?
I forget what breed it is.
And, because then there are some breeds that are predisposed to interdigital cysts. And
Yeah.
it's like, those things are a nightmare. So
Do you
like, we
remember
never
what breed it is?
surgically,
I don't know.
or is it German Shepherd who
Yeah.
like to have those. Anyway, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't have enough information. I'm
Yeah.
not approving it.
Mhm.
So like, that's what because Dudley was asking my opinion. I was like, I wouldn't approve it just because
Yeah,
we need
no.
to see it.
Okay.
So
Lost in translation of text message. That's
Yeah.
probably what.
yeah, no, that's no big deal.
Yeah, we'll follow up.
Yeah.
So Pulse is seeing it this afternoon. That's cool.
Cool. Cuckoo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fovea light maybe.
Yeah.
Instead of like that would be
Oh.
another thing we could
Mhm.
try instead of the
Yeah.
if it
Mhm.
was infectious related.
Isn't there also that laser therapy? I know we don't have that, but there's like a new laser therapy out.
Possibly.
Maybe. I know we just have phobia, I think.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about cold laser therapy?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. We'll follow
Um,
up. To be continued.
I don't really have anything else.
Should I talk about the cat that happened this week?
Oh yeah, talk about that. That's
Yeah,
a really
I was
interesting
wondering
case
about
because
that.
you know what? That's going to happen to somebody else.
I know.
Like, and it'd be good for people to know that like
It happens.
it happens.
Okay. This is a bummer, but we had a new patient, new client, of course.
Of course, it was a
Um,
new client.
Yeah. It was an indoor-outdoor cat, male neutered, and came in because
4,
they're
right? Wasn't he only 4?
7.
7.
yeah.
Okay.
Came in for a wound by his ear. To be honest with you, pretty straightforward initially, right? I
Mhm.
walk in, I'm like, there's this open abscess, easy, we're going to flush it, give Convenia, blah, 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 and go from there. And in my mind, I'm like, this will clean up nicely.
Mhm.
And obviously you always perform, well, I do, I don't know, but a full exam. And so in the exam room, he was sweet. There's really nothing else on exam. His heart, I remember thinking, sounds really good, very easy to hear, no big deal. So we have our own little cat treatment area, and that's where he was taken while we gathered our supplies. And so myself and my nurse, Courtney, we were going to just flush the area because it was already opened and flush it with dilute betadine, flush all that gunk out, and then be done and send him on his way. Oh, we were going to update rabies too because he's outdoor and we didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm flushing it. He's doing okay, flicking his ear because it's truly like right at the base of it. So it's probably really uncomfortable. flicking his ear, kind of, moving his head, twitching a little bit. And so then I fill up the syringe again and go really slow again. And he wigs out. He just turns fractious immediately, hisses, growls, swats, gets Courtney on her hand with his nails. And then he was trying to bolt. Our room is enclosed, but we just put a hand on his back so that he wouldn't jump off the table. Meanwhile, Dr. King walks into as this is happening, and we were talking about another case as like we're giving him a minute to just figure his stuff out, and we're gonna give him the next medication.
You guys were just sitting at the table.
We were just sitting there. We weren't doing anything with him, and all of a sudden, I can just picture it. He just goes stiff, takes a big deep breath, and falls back. And Courtney's like, what are you doing? And I saw his body and I thought he was actually like trembling. I thought he was like having a seizure. So initially I'm like, we need diazepam. I run out, King and Courtney, and then they gather help and they take him to oxygen. And so I'm running back with the diazepam and he's just not like, he's gone.
Yeah.
So he actually was going agonal instead of anything else. And so we initiated CPR and unfortunately, we gave multiple doses of intracardiac atropine and epinephrine, intubated him. I mean, everything you're supposed to do. And we did intracardiac because we couldn't get him intubated right away. And it was crazy. It was wild.
It was literally like 20 seconds.
As soon as I listened, there was nothing.
Yeah.
There was no minimal heartbeat, nothing. And you can imagine, one, the just shock. Like, it was so bizarre. Two, you start thinking, like, what in the world just happened? Like, you go through all the diseases in your head,
what?
and you're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
You literally just speechless. And so we had to go and tell the owner what was happening and just make sure she was okay with us doing CPR.
Mm-hmm.
And so she said, yeah, do whatever we have to. So we keep going. And again, there was nothing. And then he had no corneal reflex. I mean, passed. And
he literally died in that 10 seconds.
Yes.
It was like the strangest.
And I remember looking at him while he was just sitting there calming down, making sure he was calming down. And he just was sitting there, his eyes kind of closed, like he was just chilling, and literally just keeled over.
That's
exactly what happened.
Exactly. When you say keeled over, that's exactly what happened. Like, it wasn't one of these like, starting to breathe heavily.
Nope.
No. He literally keeled over.
Yeah.
Like, it was it's strange. It was very strange.
I mean, not that obviously it's terrible that this happened, but there's another doctor there witnessing it too. So it's like, it's just one of those things where, anyway, so we ended up taking postmortem chest x-rays just to see, like, was there anything in his chest?
Mm-hmm.
Granted, we took it with a grain of salt because we had to give medications. We, we're obviously doing compressions, things like that.
Yeah.
And multiple of us doctors thought that the heart maybe looked a little bit or looked enlarged.
Right.
But then we also had to realize, okay, was it like hypoinflation of the lungs now at this point, and that was creating artifact? Or anyway, so for all you out there listening, cats are very sensitive.
Yes.
And even if they don't have heart murmur or an arrhythmia or anything, like, this happened one other time to me, but the cat actually had heart disease, and he was an old cat, and he got really stressed.
Well, in those cases, I'm always like warning the owners.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hey, listen, like, usually what we'll do is be like, we're going to do treatments.
Mm-hmm.
This may not go very well.
Yes.
We have the potential to kill your cat by doing treatments.
And as soon as they get stressed, we're done.
Right.
Like, and we try to get those cats on GABA before coming in, like the whole shebang, right?
Right.
This had no indication of
no
that.
indication. None.
The hardest
It's crazy.
client conversation.
It's a new client. And it's like,
absolutely.
they don't know you from Adam. And it's like,
and this was their experience.
You're right. And this is
Yeah.
their first experience. It's horrible. I know we're not the only ones out there who's had that. I mean, it's just an unfortunate set of circumstances.
Yeah.
But
and it was literally I walked in the room and I just said, I am so sorry. It was the most random thing I've ever seen that has ever happened before.
Yeah.
And, we explained the possibilities of what it could be. And at that point, it's just like,
did we end up taking him for necropsy?
No. So that was the other thing, is I did offer necropsy several different times throughout the conversation. And we had someone at our work that was going to be able to drive him there to Purdue, but she declined and just wanted to take him home. So, yeah.
So there's that.
still a little fresh in the heart over
Oh,
here.
yeah.
It
Oh, yeah.
was, and it hit Courtney pretty hard too, because obviously he passed in her arms as we're just
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It was just real. It
was rough.
was like out of a movie.
Yeah.
don't be scared though to treat cats.
Don't
It
be
doesn't
scared-
usually
exactly, don't-
happen.
Exactly.
You know, when you see people running through the clinic grabbing drugs, it's not good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say what you said about cats in general, like that's spot on.
Yeah.
Like, can't be afraid to treat them, but I just think the more communication with the owners, the better off. You know, like,
when you know.
when you know.
Well,
Yeah.
and then we were all talking about it in the office and stuff. And one of our coworkers, she said, hey, if it makes you feel better, her own personal cat, when they had him, her kids, were playing with him, chasing him
yeah.
around. And she was like, hey, be careful, don't stress out the cat too much. Well, her own cat, literally the next day passed away because he got too stressed. Got sick through a clot. And then she tried to treat him and then he passed away.
Passed away.
Yeah.
God, cats.
Cats are crazy. Just like horses, they just try to
They
die.
are. Cats are the small version of horses.
Yes,
I agree. Gosh darn them.
I know. Anyway,
So just don't worry about your cat, Devin.
This conversation is not good for me.
yeah, that probably doesn't
I
help.
guess we should have probably done that when Devin was on vacation. Oh gosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Those
Walter
were
has
some
enough
serious
peace in his
cases.
life.
I don't want to forget to talk about your golden retriever. I'm trying to give you a hint.
My golden retriever. Oh, I gotta save some of these
I
cases.
know. That's what I'm saying. Save that. We can't
I'm gonna
forget
save that one and the other one I was
because
thinking
it's a
of.
really good one. And
Yeah.
once people see it, they won't forget.
And the conversation with the client was amazing. She
Okay.
appreciated me saying something
Pardon?
and is now coming to us. So anyway, stay tuned if you're really curious about what the case
Yes,
is.
because you
I'll
will
see
see
it.
it. You will see it out in private practice.
Yes.
And if you don't just explain it away and actually take a second to look it up,
Mm-hmm.
it's, to your point, it shows your interest in the patient.
Yep,
And
because she said the previous vet never ever said anything.
yep.
I'm kept in the dark.
Yeah.
That's going to be our teaser for next
Oh,
week.
yeah.
Woo, woo, woo. Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I mean, we
guys,
did it.
We did it with no
Somehow.
whatever piece of paper.
I know. It was kind of fun.
We're rock stars.
I really liked it.
Good job.
Good
Okay.
job.
Good job. Good job.
Good job.
All right. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Veterinary Roundtable, make sure to leave us a review on your podcast provider of choice.
That's at the beginning.
And we will see you next time
Yes.
on the Veterinary Roundtable.
See you then.
See you then. Bye.
Bye.